Guys, the green card is very likely the most underrated and least talked about consumer card from American Express. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what the green card is all about and why I applied for it and was approved for the card. After that, I'm going to make an argument for why it is so overlooked. And finally, if you stay to the end, I'm going to tell you something about this application that might just help you in the future with your Amex applications. And it has to do with the infamous lifetime language and family language rules. But first, if you are new here, I'm Luke. I talk about credit cards, points, miles, and cash back. If you're interested in that sort of thing, consider becoming a subscriber. And if you get any value at all from this video today, do me a favor and slap that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It actually does get this video in front of a lot more eyeballs. And with that out of the way, let's get right into the American Express green card. So I applied for and received the green card again. But before I get into that, let's quickly go over the card and how it might fit into your setup. Now guys, this is Amex, and that normally means annual fees, and the green card currently comes with a $150 annual fee, which is a little more than your normal mid-tier $99 card. But again, we're not talking about Citi, we're not talking about Capital One. This is the big dog here. The current public welcome offer looks like 40,000 MR points for just $3,000 spend in 6 months. Nothing really exciting here, but hey, I could always use more MR points, and that is actually a very low spending requirement for 2025. And they give you 6 months to do that, so you can kind of pick and choose the spending categories. So far, you're probably thinking, yeah, Luke, I can see why this card isn't really talked about much. 40K is relatively weak within this Amex system. But let's get into the card's earnings, which is, in my opinion, one of the strengths of the Amex ecosystem. The card earns 3x on all travel and transit. And let's not gloss over that too quickly. This is 3x on airfare, cars, flights, campgrounds, cruises, and tours. But don't forget that often overlooked transit category, which also includes trains, buses, ferries, subways, taxis, ride shares, parking, tolls. Guys, for some of you, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's a ton of different expenses. The card also gets 3x on dining worldwide, so that is the industry standard for most dining cards. Now, a lot of you are thinking to yourself, well, Amex isn't really widely accepted internationally, so that dining might not be the best way to go. Yeah, I can't argue with that, but I'll be honest. When I look at my yearly expenditures, international dining doesn't really jump off the page. If you are running an Amex setup, you already know you're always going to need a no foreign transaction fee Visa or MasterCard to complement your wallet anyway. It's just the way it is. To me, that is much less of an issue than, say, using an ecosystem that doesn't have groceries or gas as a category. Triggered? Sorry, we can continue. So the points earnings is going to be the strength of this card. It does come with a clear credit of up to $209. And while I'm at it, guys, I really want to clear something up with this service. I keep hearing YouTubers that obviously don't travel state that the Clear is an alternative to TSA PreCheck. That is absolutely not true. The power of Clear comes with the synergistic effects of using it with TSA PreCheck. When you have both of these things used together, you get through much faster in a lot of airports. And personally, I'm a huge fan of Clear because the expedited service has saved me a couple of headaches. And I'm talking about the kind of headaches that can ruin an entire travel day. So I think that Clear credit, for me, mitigates the annual fee. Now this is a big if you travel. If you don't, maybe you shouldn't consider the card. The card also has the less talked about benefits like purchase protections, extended warranties, and the card has plenty of travel protections and those insurances. I mention that because, in my opinion, that qualifies this card as an actual travel card. So for those of you that prefer simplicity, well, as of right now, this card provides that. I would be out of character if I didn't mention Amex offers and Amex customer service, so, well, it has those two. Okay, so enough of the landing page stuff. Why do I think this card is underrated? Well, my main argument is the absolute screaming, kicking, and crying that everybody did when the CSR got its 3x travel eliminated. And that was a broad travel category, so I understand. 3x on travel and 3x on transit makes a lot of sense for so many folks. Some will say, hey, Wells Fargo Autograph does this for free. but I don't see too many folks really standing up and arguing for a Wells Fargo setup. The green's great for cruisers and folks that navigate the big city. Personally, I'm a suburbanite, so I don't have as many opportunities for that as some people, but I do park at the airport, and in the future, I will be booking off-brand hotels and Airbnbs, so I'm looking forward to that. Another reason I think the green is underrated is I think it can be a viable replacement for either the gold or the platinum, even if that is for just a year or so. If you aren't traveling much next year, a downgrade from the platinum to the green seems reasonable. Not shopping at traditional grocery stores right now, change from the gold to the green. I think it finds a place for a lot of spenders, and the $150 might not be the cheapest, but it doesn't have that sticker shock that some of these other Amex cards have. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've seen Amex refresh the gold and more recently the platinum card. While reviews have been mixed, I think they've been more positive than negative. And this is coming from someone who has been super critical of Amex in the last couple of years. So I think we're very close to a green refresh. So what's good about that? Well, Amex generally adds benefits during a refresh, and current cardholders generally get both the old and the new benefits. So most of the time, folks that already hold the card, they really benefit from these refreshes at least the first year. This could be as simple as another Resi credit, but it could also be something a bit more comprehensive. Either way, I'm excited to see the new green card. My guess is spring 2026. Put in the comments when you think that green card is going to be refreshed, because we all know it's due. Okay, let me tell you about this application. Most of you know that Amex has what they call lifetime language rules and family language rules. The first one means that in general, Amex only gives you a bonus once in a lifetime for each card. So since I've had the green card, I would not normally be eligible for another bonus. Sources say that a lifetime is closer to 7 years than an actual lifetime. And the family language means most of the time to be eligible for a welcome offer, you need to get the green before the gold and before the platinum. Example being, if you get the platinum card first, you aren't normally eligible for a welcome offer on either the green or the gold. So you have to do them in order, right? Okay, I hope that makes sense. But in my case, I have had the green card previously, and I've had multiple gold and platinum cards. So I should be exempt from a welcome offer according to both of these rules. Well, I applied, and I was given the opportunity for a 40,000 MR point welcome offer on the green card should I accept. Of course I did. So what I'm saying is this: if Amex wants to sell you a card, these rules are much more like suggestions or likelihoods, but not exactly rules. My application for the green included lifetime language, and I was still offered a bonus. Flame away, Reddit boys, but it's true. So in the grand scheme of things, I've wanted to move away from Amex for various reasons, but they have an amazing way of keeping me as a customer. Guys, real quick, if you aren't using a retail shopping portal, please consider using Rakuten. Rakuten is easy to use, has really great cashback rates, and the great thing about Rakuten is you can opt to earn Amex MR points in lieu of cashback, making this much more valuable in my opinion. Right now you can use my link to sign up, and you can receive up to $50 or 5,000 MR points back on your very first purchase. If you're running an Amex setup, it just makes a lot of sense. Guys, if you have watched all the way to the end, you know I appreciate you, and I want to thank every single one of you.